something we haven't talked about yet is I was teammates with Dave Chernek, and Dave Chernek was a phenom. Dave Chernek could swim any event, and he could swim it better than you and better than most people in the country in a lot of cases. And so that's one of the reasons I continued to get better, was because I was training with this guy who was way ahead of his time. And at first he was pulling me along, and then my senior year we started to push each other. And so in many ways, my senior year in being recruited by Doc was, and actually everyone who recruited me, the reason they recruited me is that they were checking in on Chernek, and they would always call Denny first, and Denny would tell them about Chernek, and then he would say, you know, we got this other guy who's pretty good. And so that's how I got recruited by Florida and Iowa and Doc, is that everyone was looking to recruit Dave Chernek, and they found out that I was swimming okay, and not until state meet did I swim fast. But at least I got on their radar, and I have to credit Dave for that, not only for getting me exposure to those coaches, but for developing me as a swimmer, because just to try and keep up with Dave made me better every day.
So I saw he started in Saginaw as a freshman and then transferred to you as a sophomore. So you guys were classmates, obviously. And so that sophomore year that you described for me is his first year at Pioneer. Will you tell me more about his personality? And also, I'm curious, what was it that made him so good? I mean, you said, he held that record for 34 years. I mean, what was it that he did that made him so special?
Well, when Dave came in as a sophomore, he was already fast. I think that year he went 59 in the 100 breast. And I think he would admit that he could have gone faster that year. There was a lot of, he was a sophomore, and he was so good. I think he put a lot of pressure on himself, and he didn't fully realize a good swim at the state meet in his events. But Dave, for a breaststroker, because he was primarily a breaststroker, he had a very unique breaststroke for the time. At the time, the breaststroke was more of a low forward kind of John Henkin, John Moffitt, even a Steve Lundquist kind of a muscly breaststroke. And Dave was kind of a predecessor to the current breaststroke, where he got up real high and then had a really strong kick. And so his kick really drove his 100 breast. And, that junior year, he proved it when he went 56 flat. I think it was 56 flat. That blew everyone's mind, because that was a really fast time.
56.06 as a junior.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that, his 200 IM was great, but his 100 breast was, out of this world. He destroyed the state record. And so he was, but I have to say, it wasn't just his breaststroke. He could swim everything. He would battle me in the 200 and the 100. He could go a 500 free and go every other 100 fast and still go like 440, just playing around. He was amazingly talented, and I have to admit, he worked hard. He worked hard, and he developed it.